Welcome to the first episode of JOB-Spiration, a production by Nice Personnel Staffing. This is new to us.
Entirely. It feels very foreign.
I'm Alyssa. We have Allison.
Yes. Hi.
We work here for Nice Personnel. I joined the staffing industry after graduating college. And I had absolutely no intention of joining this industry. It kind of just happened. I came into it as a person looking for temp jobs to get started, and it kind of just grew from there.
Yeah. I actually have really only been here a year. Today is the exact year date.
Yay.
So, but no, I mean, kind of similar experience for me. Slightly different. I was kind of left reeling after the pandemic, looking for work because I had been primarily focusing my time in the service industry for the last few years. So that was a really big change, and I found a part-time job that I liked, but it just really wasn't ideal, and started looking for things. And honestly, I just updated my resume on Indeed. That's kind of where this whole thing started, and I applied through Nice and was really confused. I really knew nothing about staffing agencies or how it worked, so I applied for an insurance position and heard from Alyssa and learned about an opening internally, and things kind of just fell into place. So I'm working front desk and seeing a lot more about, I guess, like how things work now, and I like it. It's not where I thought I'd be, but it's cool to be here.
A true recruitment relationship.
Heck yeah.
Well, we decided to start this podcast kind of about our journey, the job market, because it's super weird. Like, I feel like every day there's new, just weird updates in the news and just across all industries.
Totally. Everything is weird.
Yeah. Post-pandemic life is fat question mark.
Yeah. Uncharted territory for sure.
So, well, we're going to dive in. So what is the perfect job?
Well, I think that's a great question. It's definitely different for everyone. So I guess maybe what is the perfect job for you? How do you figure that out?
Yeah, this could be done in a lot of different ways. I mean, get a notebook, write down things that you like. You know, if you have like this vision for your future or your career path, write that down. Or even if you have like a smartphone, put it in notes or whatever works for you. It really is different for everybody. I mean, it could be in any industry.
I agree. And I think it has like a lot to do with your priorities too. I mean, there's probably like the top three that come to mind. Are you looking for something to put your skills to work? Do you care more about like where you work in an environmental sense, or is like industry really important to you? I don't know. I think those are all things you need to probably have a conversation with yourself about during this journey, especially to make sure you get to where you want to go.
Yeah. Well, Allison and I did some research on what some other professional sites recommended for finding the perfect job for you. And we got a lot of different things. I mean, it could really mean anything for anyone.
Definitely.
But I think the biggest thing we saw was finding something that helps you channel your passion. So working in the staffing agency, we encounter a lot of different people on the daily. That's putting it lightly.
So many different characters. It's never a boring day.
No, never a dull moment. But we do have people that come to us and they truly have like no idea like what they want to do. They just know they need a job, because I feel like that's kind of like the picture for life. Like, you grow up, go to school, get a job,
Totally.
and, you know, live your life. But I do have some people that will come to me and they're like, I know that I want to work in a CPA office, or I know I want to work in a podiatrist's office. Like,
which is so helpful for you.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, having that place to like jump off from is I don't know, I feel like it helps you be successful, but it also helps their placement really be successful.
Yeah,
At least start off on the good foot.
definitely.
Right foot.
Knowing what you want, if you do choose to work with a staffing agency or you choose to find a job independently, is something that will definitely lead you to success.
Absolutely.
But I mean, even if you really aren't sure, feel free to reach out to any staffing professionals. If you know somebody that works in HR, they're all going to start out asking you the same thing.
Yeah.
What do you like? What do you want to do?
Honestly, for me, I feel like those questions can be really hard, though, sometimes.
Yeah.
They seem sort of simple, but
They're
it almost,
big.
well, yeah. And if you are someone who's been brought to this part of your job searching journey, I mean, I guess I hate to say you probably don't have the answers to those things readily available, or maybe you would already be somewhere else. So it's okay to figure that out, like, together, I guess, or
Yeah.
try to figure that out.
Yeah. And if that means, I feel like starting your career off and trying something.
Yeah.
Like, I think I started my career in retail when I was like 16.
Mm-hmm.
And like, honestly, today, like, I look back and I'm like, wow, that job was like so easy for me just because of like my skills and like the things that I like.
Totally.
But I mean, long term, my personal choice was not to stay in that industry. And I know that's probably like the most popular job people start in between like retail and food service.
Yeah, waiting tables or fast food, probably. I would agree.
Yeah, it definitely hones a lot of good skills to start.
Does. Well, and I think too a big thing that maybe leads somebody to look for something else, even if they don't know what that is the growth opportunity. Because in those places, I mean, you really can go but so high. But
Yeah.
I mean, unless you work your way through management or something, and that's really valuable. I guess maybe a lot of people don't understand that a job that you have at 16 might seem kind of like just filling time, but honestly, if you stick with it, and you work your way up, that's a really great thing to have on a resume. Shows your ability to hang around and
Yeah,
accomplish goals. It's cool.
definitely. So, I guess we kind of went off on a little bit of a tangent.
I know. But hey, it's podcast life.
So, what would you say would be like the first step after you make that list of things that you like and, you know, this, I guess, for somebody that has no direction?
Wow. I mean, I guess really figuring out like what do you want to be different in your next placement? If you kind of just maybe start simple there, like what are you currently experiencing in your work environment that maybe you would like to never experience again? Or if you know, like, I don't know, something that you're looking for that you can't find where you're at, maybe the next step is to figure out where you can find those things.
Yeah, I think that's definitely important. And then I feel like starting there and then narrowing down to your industry, you know,
Definitely.
if you're really not sure. I mean, there are people that are like, I know I want to work in the medical industry. And I mean, every industry has a variety of positions. So you can really, I feel like it's kind of an interchangeable list to go off of. If you really know your industry, you could start there. Or, you know, if you're really not happy with, or you know certain things that you have experienced that you don't want in a future placement, that can definitely help. And I will just throw this in there. If it is related to like bad management or something,
Yep.
that does not necessarily mean it is the industry.
True.
I mean, any place can have bad management. You know, if you're in an office environment that, I don't know, as an accountant, and you are experiencing, you know, something related to bad management or just a dilemma, you know, if that's something you're really passionate about, don't feel like you have to give up that entire industry and career. Look for another company that may, you know, promote your values or, you know, has really good benefits package, you know, location, all of the specs align with your interests. That's definitely something I have learned to look at, especially when placing somebody. I feel like I almost feel like sometimes when someone comes to a staffing agency, it's like they're placing their life in my hands.
They are. You're now like in charge of
Like,
helping them
yeah.
live in every way. Yeah.
Yeah.
What they do on a daily, how they pay their bills.
Yeah, it's
a big thing.
intimidating. It's definitely an intimidating way to think of it.
For sure. But no, I mean, that's a great point, though. I mean, it's like that saying, don't let like one rotten thing ruin the bunch. I mean, just because it's not your ideal experience, I definitely think if you care about the work you're doing and the industry, like you should not let one bad manager run you away.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like I've definitely encountered bad management.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And is that not like single-handedly probably like the worst thing for any job ever? I mean, it really doesn't matter what you're doing. If somebody at the top is not supportive or they can't hear you out, if they're not helpful, if they're not, gosh, even just nice people. Having a good team is really like so key, I think, in happiness and a placement, regardless of what that is. So,
I mean, and it would definitely come down to, have you tried to fix that too?
Oh, yeah.
Like communication all around. I mean, and if you've gone to all of the lengths, then leaving, 100% support that.
Oh yeah. Everyone knows their limit, I think.
Yeah.
There's a point when it's okay to walk away.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right now is also a great time to do that.
Yeah, I mean, we're, I guess, coming out of, or kind of in the tail end of the Great Resignation.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. Yeah, and that has been a struggle for staffing agencies. I mean,
oh gosh,
every day we encounter, I mean, whether it's hiring people, letting people go, people quitting, people handing in their notice. I mean,
the day of.
Yeah, the day of. Please note to self, if you are leaving a job, give at least a 5-day notice.
Please.
Thank you. It's been a whirlwind of emotions in this weird post-pandemic Great Resignation. Is it even post-pandemic? I mean,
I don't know. I think we're still kind of in the midst.
Yeah.
I think we can't say post just yet, but
I'm
ready to
say
post. I agree. I'm so ready to say post.
I guess post-quarantine?
Yeah.
That sounds better.
Thankfully, we're just out of 2020.
Yes.
Everyone feels the same about that.
Well, I will say, like, coming from a recruiter, my absolute recommendation in your job search, finding that perfect job, a safe environment. I mean, you don't want to be in some place that could promote injury or, I mean, even mental health. I mean, mental health awareness, I think it's Mental Health Awareness Month.
It is.
So,
it is indeed.
A safe environment for your physical and mental and emotional well-being is super important.
Yeah, your employer wants the best version of you. So, I mean, if you realize you can't be that where you're at, that's, that's worth acknowledging.
Yeah, for sure. What's your, like, make it or break it for the perfect job?
Oh, gosh. I mean, I really don't know, honestly. I think for me, we kind of touched on it a little bit, that the supporting people there, the people you talk to every day, the ones you see when you first walk through the door, or who you can go to when you do need help, or if, maybe you aren't feeling so great doing what you're doing for whatever reason. That is a really huge deal to me. But other than that, I think my biggest is a work and life balance. Yeah. I'm one of those people, I mean, I'm going to do what needs to get done to pay my bills and live the life that I need to, but my time outside of being paid to do something for someone else is also really valuable to me. Yeah. And I really appreciate a company or any business that also understands that, like, it's kind of the whole point of the whole thing, Yeah. We're here a lot of the time, most of the time, to be honest, but it's all for what we do outside of here. Yeah, I mean, we're working to make industries successful, but also ourselves successful. Absolutely. And I think that's a really important balance to have. I mean, having time for yourself, whether it be on the weekends, whether you take a mental health day, Definitely. And having
a support system in your job that says like, hey, okay, take that mental health day. You deserve it. No questions asked.
Yeah.
I think that's a really, really good aspect to have in a job. And mental health days are widely accepted by several employers now.
Yep.
I actually know, quite a few friends that do work for larger companies, and it's a literally labeled a mental health day.
It's
Like
so
you
awesome.
have your PTO, but you also have like your mental health days, and you can like rack them up as like a benefit, which is really cool.
It's so great. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think the last absolute definite, I would say, is really good communication throughout your management or your team.
Yep.
If you're going into a management role, having good communication with your hires or anybody below you, that will make everybody feel comfortable, and all around it'll just be the perfect job.
I agree. And I guess honestly, one last thing to throw out just because it came to mind, and it is really important, and it is sometimes the biggest driving factor for a lot of people, but benefits.
Yes.
And that can get complicated, but I mean, ultimately, again, we're all here to, support ourselves the best we can outside of these walls. So that means you need to feel secure in your health insurance and all the stuff that really matters and keeps you going. And I don't know, benefits for a lot of people, that really is a really huge thing, and that's okay. If that's your thing and that's kind of what everything else is contingent upon, I don't think anybody can fault you for that, but you definitely need to be upfront about that in the beginning. Kind of check that box, or if, you're entertaining the idea of something and that box isn't checked, maybe that's like your number one indicator to keep looking. So
I mean, whether you're taking the job to take care of yourself or take care of, your dependents, your parents, whoever you're taking care of,
anything in your personal life,
you need to make sure you're benefiting from that. And I mean health benefits, all that stuff.
Absolutely.
401k, the whole package.
Yeah.
We love that. We love benefits package.
Yes, we do.
Well, I did want to recommend something, and I will put it in this episode's description. If you really are not sure of the type of career that you want to find, visit onetonline.org. This is a career finder, and they do have a quiz that basically will identify your interests. And if you're a veteran, and you want, or if you're coming off active duty, you want to tie in all of your previous military experience. Honestly, whatever route you want to go, this quiz will give you a variety of options that your skills can be honed in a professional route. Visit the website. I'll link it in the episode description. And if you guys have any questions, they do have a contact us and help us site. They have advanced searches. They also have bilingual options or Spanish options.
That is so valuable. And also, like, who doesn't love a good quiz?
Yeah, honestly, I love that. Like, I'm the survey gal. I love taking surveys.
Tell me what type of noodle I am, please.
Am I a wet noodle? That's like Noodles the pug. Is it a bones day? Or is it a no bones day? Based on the weather, I'm thinking no bones day.
I would agree. No bones for sure.
Well, I think that wraps it up for our first episode.
Yeah.
If you guys have any ideas on things you want us to talk about, we'll link our emails as well. But tune in every Thursday.
Yeah, we're gonna go big with every Thursday. So as of right now, we're coming out with content, and if anybody has any suggestions, any questions, if you're listening and you have something you do want us to cover, let us know.
Yes. Well, thanks for listening to JOB-Spiration.
Uncut.